we were kind of trying to make light of everything, and we go, the church isn't going to be big enough for the service. And so, we tried to find the best light that we could, because we were never prepared to lose someone that was so important to all of us, that gave the time of day to each and every one of us, whether it was a phone call on Mother's Day to both his mothers every year, or a card, or a happy birthday, or just a hi in Walmart that when I was little I thought was so annoying. He would see everybody he knew. And I was like, come on, Dad, we got things to do. I got things to do. And it wasn't until I got older that I realized the kind of effect that he had on people. That people wanted to talk with him too, that he didn't just want to talk with them. He cared. He cared what was going on in your life. And to share with you what big news he had. If he had a new grandbaby, or if him and my mom went to a concert, anything, or if he just went to South Dakota. He wanted to share it because that was important to him. And I wanted to share today one of the stories I have of him and my mom. They had been dating a little over a year, and he had talked to me and said, I got this thing for your mom, for Sandy. I hadn't called her mom yet. He goes, what do you think? And he opened it up, and it was a ring. And I was 13 at the time. And I said, sure, it's great. Not really knowing what it meant, but I did. And I was so excited for them because they danced together and they listened to music together. And there was so much love there between them. And I was excited. So one day, my dad had this plan where he was going to have a flat tire on his way home from work and call and ask for help. So he's getting off work and he calls my mom and he goes, I got a flat, I need you to come get me. So he jumped in the car, we're headed over there, he goes, I'm at the RV sign. So we get there, and I am as awkward and as silent because I can't keep secrets. I'm twiddling my thumbs, I'm pretty much tapping on the window, just avoiding it. Sandy keeps looking at me like, what is wrong? What are you doing? And nothing. Just trying to play it off. And when we got there, I decided to stay in the truck and let them have their moment because I don't think she really had too much of an idea of what was happening. So she got out of the car, went over to the truck, and he goes to get down on one knee to show her the flat tire. And he pulled out the ring, and he asked her to marry him. And I'm so glad they did. They got married and he gave me a mom, someone to help and help him because he needed someone to love him back every day too, and he had just that every day of his life. And on a lighter note too, he had his grandbabies. He had 5 beautiful grandbabies. And Max and Zeke, they have rock collections just like my dad. And they swapped their rocks, especially these last few months. And it meant so much because my dad had picked up rocks for at least the last 24 years of my life. So I don't know if it started sooner, but that's a lot of rocks. But he knows where every one of those rocks came from, what they're made of. He has a story and a memory with all of them. And so he could share that with his grandsons. And his granddaughter, Isabella, knew how important it was these last few months. That every time he was taking a nap, he'd be sitting in his chair, we'd be watching a movie, and, or we'd be talking to him too much, and we'd put him to sleep, and he would be taking a nap, and she would just know to go up to him and go, what's going on, Papa John? And just, or tap him on the shoulder, Papa John, you were sleeping. Just to let him know in case he wasn't aware. And it melted my heart because for a second there I almost stopped her from waking him up, but wanted to let him get his rest. But then I knew how important it was for her to just wake him up and just say, just let him know, I'm here. We're leaving now. I just want to say goodbye. And then he had 2 grandbabies last summer. He was blessed to have 2 little ones who are turning, our daughter Emma's turning a year old tomorrow. And little Christopher will And we're so blessed that he was able to be there and be a part of that and see the rest of his family come together and grow, because he loved them so much and he had future plans with them that we will continue for them and live, sorry, and live as though he's still here. Share his pictures that we see every day. Tell him the funny stories and the things and how he would just come out of the bedroom with the most random stories, and just anything. Whether a TV show he was talking, that he saw it, whatever it was, that he had a special place with all of us. And that meant so much. And I was fortunate enough to have a dad that never let me go a day without knowing how much I was loved. That drove 6 hours to come be with me when I lived out of state. That called me every day, or told me to call him because that's just how it was going to be. That life is fragile and sometimes short, and we knew that. And that he wanted to talk with me every day, and that I wanted to talk with him. And it wasn't until a few months ago that I started to make him call me. Hey, Dad, you didn't call me today. Why? It wasn't until then that I really realized the importance of just hearing an "I love you," anything, or a joke, or even to be frustrated just to talk to that other person. And I thank him every day for what he taught me. And giving people the time of day and loving the people around him like it's your last. And I loved that. And I loved who he was and who he was to all of us, whether it was at work or for college, with his long hair days, or in the band. He loved us all as we loved him, and he will